All right, so thank you so much for being here with me. I'm really excited to talk to you. My first question actually for you is, when did you know that you were an inventor?
Well, thank you so much for having us, Maya. And wow, I think personally, I'm still getting used to saying that. Like I am consciously saying it so that, my brain is keeping up with what is actually happening. It feels surreal to have, come up with this idea over 2 years ago and now to have like the physical product in people's hands that came out of my brain, but we very much both put it out there in the world together. It happened when it happened.
I've probably always had a bit of an entrepreneurial spirit. And I've been involved in a number of different endeavors. And so I guess between my wife hearing about my next greatest idea, maybe it's probably helpful. Has
That's
encouraged
definitely
her
been helpful.
to be that
Yes.
way.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about you guys' dynamic and also what you do and how this like project came to be?
Yes, it happened out of. I think there's a famous saying that said, "Mothers are the greatest inventors," and I don't think he agrees. I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere, but it happened because of what I was seeing with my own daughter and how she was kind of like just hunched over all the time, and on her little Kindle Fire she was 4 at the time when the pandemic had sort of kicked in. She had just turned 5 when this idea came about, but it happened from just wanting something that was better and different for her.
Awesome. Got you. So what did you even think when starting the process? Like you had this idea and then you're like, okay, I want to make this a reality, because some people always like, we have ideas, but we don't always take the next step to actually make it come true. So like what actually pushed you to do that? Like as a you're a parent, full-time worker, like what made you say, no, I'm going to make this and get it done?
We are both full-time full-time parents, and we have corporate jobs as well, and therefore we already have 2 jobs. But right now we are in the process of really embracing sort of this new phase in our lives and our journeys, and it's been a very interesting journey so far. We very much have been each other's inspiration and sounding boards and advisor and legal assistant and, all the things. And it's been eye-opening. We've also invested in programs like the Ignite program, kind of get us off the ground with accelerating sort of this vision.
Yeah. Also, I think it helped to give us confidence that we don't have to kind of go and learn and do this from the perspective of you should know how to do this, right? But what we're doing doesn't exist. And so that can be, and that's often the case in an entrepreneurial space. It doesn't exist. And so you don't have a template, you don't have a blueprint to follow. You have to figure it all out. And so it was helpful to go through the Ignite program to kind of put some of those key pieces in place that allowed us to say, you know what, while we don't know the answer to this yet, this is how we can begin thinking about a given scenario. And then from that point on, we develop our own approach to resolving the issue or to taking the company or the organization to the next step. So.
And being surrounded by other like-minded entrepreneurs in various stages of their own journey offered some fresh perspective in certain ways, in a lot of ways, actually. And, the environment that Ignite sort of cultivates is very much open. It is resourceful. So you have access to lawyers and accountants and marketing agencies and so all the things you sort of need to run a business.
Awesome. So let's get down to the real topic of this device. Explain to me, how does it work?
The DigiRoo case is the first of its kind height adjustable tablet case for kids. So in our research early on, we discovered that, the first thing we did was Google, right? Does it already exist? Is it out there somewhere? And, our Googling came back and we didn't see anything. And that's when sort of Llyod kicked in. He was like, okay, then maybe we can pursue it, right? First of its kind. We all want to, be the first to market, be the first to kind of invent something. And at that point, we hired an attorney to find out for sure if there was nothing else like it. So once they came back from doing their research that it did not exist, it was a novel idea, we then was like, okay, let's go for it. And so it is, like I said, the first of its kind height adjustable tablet case. And what that means is a lot of the tablet cases on the market now, they are limited to the angle adjustment. So if you could imagine sort of like the stand that a lot of the cases sit on, it only allows for a minimal angle adjustment. None of them raise the tablet up. And why this is key is because chiropractors and physiotherapists, medical experts in the field have a long time ago, especially since the pandemic, cited that there can be some physical detriment to the position, the slouching position like this. And with our kids, because they are being exposed to it from as early on as the parents will allow it these days, they will kind of be the first generation to go through it from that early stage. And we wouldn't know the impact of that until they're 15, 20, early adult. And in fact, there are projections right now that we are creating hunchbacks. So the hump in the back of the neck is caused by, first of all, life, so number of years that you kind of have been exposed to certain body positions, but then also the fluid builds up in the back, and the spinal changes that happen, the curve in the spine. And so the downward, yes, and so the downward head positioning from early on is exacerbating what is, almost inevitable to happen anyway. Yeah. And so that is why the DigiRoo case is, it's going to be a game changer for, this next generation and generations to come. And this is the first iteration. We have ideas, we have some research that has given us, insight into how we can improve it, going forward. But right now we're really excited about this initial phase, getting it into our customers' hands, seeing the kids use it. The feedback so far has been phenomenal. Amazing. More so than we could have ever imagined. But it's not just about the product, right? So the case is amazing, great. But it's also about helping parents and educators, caregivers understand the negative and positive implications of digital use. Yeah, right? Yeah. All things digital. It's not just the screen time. It is the physical component. It's the social emotional component. It's the bullying and the whole cyber world, safety online. We are creating a brand that is going to be a key resource in helping parents. We're not just selling a product. We're helping to shift ideas here so that we could all become just a little bit more cognizant and aware and empowered to make the right decisions for, our kids' future.
Yeah.
One thing I'll add to that is that at the end of the day, the digital platform is not going away. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have to figure out the best ways to interact with it.
Yes.
So this generation of kids will be the first ones that will come through growing up with some sort of a tablet device in their hands. Yeah. With schools already adopted as a part of how they manage their curriculum, or teach their curriculums. We expect that within a few years' time, you will see an even greater adoption of the tablet as the tool of choice for going to school. Instead of a Mead book like you might have had in school and pen and paper, it's you come to school with your tablet device. This is what you work on and operate on all day long. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the impact, and is protected, is there, and the potential of support that the DigiRoo provides is I think really important.
Yeah, and like you said, like this generation and even generations before, when it comes to social media or just digital technology in general being presented to us, we kind of took it, adapted it, and there was no rules put in place, nothing put in place. So we're kind of still collecting data and analyzing what's going on and what's going to happen to us in the future. So you guys putting this out is obviously helping toward, like you said, the physical component of us using all these digital devices and what's, the potential of what can happen and how this can actually support those types of, complications in the future or things that might arise from it. Now, I must ask, do you have it on you? Can I see the device?
We do have it, yes. And we've been fortunate because our kids have been our guinea pigs, since we had the prototype, which was important for us to really test the functionality of it before it was released, right? Like any new invention, you really want to beta test it out. And just our biggest goal was to make sure that it did help with posture. Now, don't get me wrong. It is going to take a healthy combination of the parents and caregivers encouraging these digital wellness habits, as well as the right tools and further resources. So this is one of the tools. Right now, it comes in 2 colors, pink and purple. And also
St. George's.
There you are. There you are.
And our goal is to expand the color line with different colorways, but this is our starting line here.
Nice.
And it might be a bit tricky because I have it elevated, but like I mentioned, with a lot of the tablet cases that are on the market right now, they only have an angle adjustment. So if you could imagine, they kind of have the flap right here, and they can only go like that, right?
Yep.
With our tablet case, the DigiRoo, it has a very stable base. You pull it down, and I have to rest it on the table because of the easels, but I'll show you when I lift it up. Very easy for kids to use. You pull out these H-shaped easels, snap it into one of 3 angle adjustments, and you lift it up in height. So I'm just going to use the table here.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
And it increases in height for kids between the ages of 3 and 8 to 10 years old. Some kids are taller than others, but the goal is as your eyes sort of stay eye level, right? As opposed to hunching down like this, your posture naturally wants to follow that. And then of course we help the kids and say, sit up straight. I'm sure every parent has had to say that. I remember hearing that, as a child relentlessly. Put your shoulders back, sit up straight. I mean, it takes commitment.
It does.
And awareness to help our kids. But what you want to do is instill a level of self-awareness into the kids with these digital wellness habits so that they can self-correct. And that's going to come with age. But once you become aware of it, you can do something about it.
Oftentimes as well, the kids we've seen with our children that they want to play games or do other activities. So the DigiRoo actually has over 27 height adjustable settings. One of the most famous settings that I know I see with our son and our daughter is actually just turning up on the side like this and drop it on the table. But so the point we're making is the stability, the ability to I guess adjust to the appropriate setting for that child is right there in their hands.
Very flexible. So it's up to the child. Our kids, we have a 4-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter. They both easily manipulate their DigiRoo case depending on how they're using it. Like Lloyd said, if it's a gaming position, most time it's in portrait. They just turn it to the side, hold on to it.
Yeah.
I'd also like to add that it has become a preferred method for online education. So a lot of the times you would notice kids, if they have to tap or push on their tablet cases, they fall over because it just has the flap for the angle adjustment. Well, with the DigiRoo case, it is very sturdy. And in fact, a part of our engineering process, it was important for us to make sure it's called the poke force, that a child's poke force, even on its highest strength, will not make it fall over, because that's a source of frustration, which we experienced with our children.
The more I'm hearing you guys talking about it, the more I realize I actually need this product in my life. Not even just like kids, for myself, because I'm looking at this stand that I have here. This is a basic thing that I have, and I put my phone on it, but almost every single time I want to do an interview or something, it's too far down. I realize I'm looking like this all the time. I am hunched over, and I'm like, I could really use it just right here, like up a little higher, please, so I can like do my work. So I'm just looking at that now, and I'm just like, I need a DigiRoo. Like, I need that for myself. And I have a tablet, big tablet that I use for this too. And honestly, that would be even great for someone like me, even when I want to take my device out into town, I'm going to a coffee shop, I need something higher as well to use, because I tend to always use my tablet or my iPhone. That's what I'm always on. So even that would be perfect for me. But honestly, it's really great to bring it out at an early age as well. Like you said about postures and hearing that all the time, like make sure you're sitting upright. But when you're doing it at a young age, it just becomes common knowledge. So once you start doing it young, it's a continuous flow. So this is such a great device that you guys have come up with. And I really hope more people hear about it and learn about it. So I want to know now, how can people practice it? Is it out on the market already? Is it still in production? Like where are we at right now?
So right now we're in the pre-order phase, and it's available for purchase via our website, which is kidsdigitalwellness.com. And we are also on Instagram and Facebook under the same name. We respond to DMs. If you have a question, you can drop it in the DM. Also, via the contact form on the website. There are all forms of ways you can connect with us. We're accessible. I mean, if you see us on the street and you have a question.
It's happening already.
Yeah. Yes. And so the full launch will be happening in Q1 of 23. Right now, we have a select few on the island, which we are just distributing as orders come in. And, like I said, the feedback has been phenomenal. One of our customers, her daughter said her neck has never felt better when she was using her DigiRoo, getting her hair done, or just, playing. And as an inventor and a creator, business partners, and husband and wife, this is the first time that we have started a business together and engaged something like this on this level, which has been a very interesting journey for us. But to hear that review, within 2 days of her using the DigiRoo was incredibly validating and also humbling, because we see this as a worldwide product. It's not just for Bermuda, but Bermuda is a beautiful start, to be able to connect with so many people that we know and we don't know, who will give open, honest feedback. It really is a great incubator to start anything.
Yes.
And so to have the accessibility to go to someone and say, could you, I'm dying to know, could you give us any insight into how it's going? And to hear what's coming back is just beyond anything we could have asked for at this point.
Can you give me a rough number of how much you've actually sold so far?
Yeah, we have sold a couple dozen since we released it last week. Yeah.
Awesome. Look at that.
But I will say that this is a milestone for our business in that we've already secured placement with A.F. Smith.
Yes.
So to be in the retail space, without the product, being fully available right now is a monumental milestone for our startup. And they are our largest wholesale order right now.
Wow. Congratulations. That's a really big deal.
Congratulations. And so we have some exciting plans for launch next year, which is going to include a pickup party, for those who have pre-order. We'll have some music and just a fun environment to celebrate, the full launch of DigiRoo and Kids Digital Wellness. And people can drop in and grab their case from A.F. Smith if they haven't already done so. And yeah, we, one day at a time. That's what we've been saying.
That's right.
What do your kids think? I know they're young right now, but they see you guys as inventors doing all this stuff. What are they thinking when they see their parents, and what do they know?
I don't think that they well, Layla does.
Our daughter, who's 7, she just melts my heart.
She does.
She said to me just last night, because we were packaging some of the pre-orders that we have, and she saw them laying out on the living room floor, and she came out and did a little dance, and she was like, I'm so excited. I'm so proud of you. Yes. Like, she creates these songs out of everything, and it's just been incredible to watch, because I truly believe, so there were no entrepreneurs in my family. And so I didn't get exposure to entrepreneurship or working for yourself, or sort of the lessons that the life skills that develop as a part of having that, that as in your upbringing. And so to be able to gift that to my kids, I know it's going to be beneficial to them in the long run.
That's true. To
understand what it means to, create something, put it out there in the world, be courageous with it, right? Because it takes courage and perseverance, and knowing when to ask for help, right? We've been very open at sharing the process with them, because I want them to see, the successes and the failures, how we fall down and get back up. And so our daughter, and I keep referring to her because she's 7. Our son is less likely to really understand what's going on, but she's seen the tears that come when something went wrong, and we just share and we say, oh, this happened today, but we'll get through it.
That's right.
So it's been incredible to see her response. Yeah. And when she saw, let me say this. So a particular person had purchased a case, and she saw it in public. And before we entered the room, she saw it. So she said, come here, mommy, come here. She took me out of the room, and she said, so-and-so has a DigiRoo. And I said, yes, she does. She was so excited, and she just lit up. And honestly, so it's given her a sense of pride too. Oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional thinking about it.
I'm getting emotional for you. Like, that's such it's such a heartwarming experience.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So it's we've never been here before. It's an incredible journey. I'm so grateful for where we are. We've had setbacks. We've had major delays. But I believe in God's timing. I call this the divine download. The thought that He gave me at 4:00 in the morning when I got up out of my bed to sketch it out is where it all started. And having the faith that He would provide He would give us the provisions each step of the way is what really has been keeping us going too.
Yes.
Oh, incredible. Thank you so much for sharing this journey with me. Just hearing about you guys' success and, triumphs and the whole journey, and your children, especially, like the moments that we really live for, right? So I really appreciate this. Is there anything else you guys want to say before I end this interview with you guys, just about the product or the people, or anything you want to give any encouraging words to anyone?
Yeah, absolutely. If you are on the fence, if you've checked out the website and looked at the product page and have seen it, but you're still on the fence a little bit, send us a DM. Let us know what it is. What questions do you have? Happy to answer any questions you may have about the DigiRoo case. If your kid has an iPad, 7th, 8th, or 9th generation, we would love to get this in your hands as a supportive tool along your digital wellness journey with your kids. It certainly is something that we are passionate about, and we are, all in, as they say. So for more information, you can visit us at kidsdigitalwellness.com. Another milestone we accomplished was we have been awarded by Fast Company with the Honorable Mention Award in their Innovation by Design Awards. That sounded like a mouthful, but in fact, we had to submit the information in January of this year. This was before we even had a prototype. So we submitted it with, renderings and our vision clearly articulated for how we hope this will improve kids' experience, in the digital space. And we were selected with honorable mention in the wellness category. And, it took me seeing the other awardees in honorable mention to really grasp what a huge accomplishment that was. So for example, Pinterest, right? If you think about Pinterest, this massive brand, Samsung was on there, like all of these reputable brands that have been around for years, you know, our DigiRoo is alongside them.
Yeah, and going through that similar journey.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's a big deal. And you know, it's something that we still kind of are processing. You know, to be an award winner, you know, to be invited to come to the conference in New York, and to be in the room with tons of other entrepreneurs and even other established entities, and just to be able to interact with them and to be seen in that space was an incredible experience for us.
Yeah.
And again, more validation that the product that we've developed is not only viable but needed, and people are excited about. And that's an important thing to us. And I personally, I think what I love is that this is a concept that I know that was born here, and I believe that it's something that we shouldn't understate. I love the fact that we can use and leverage Bermuda as a place to be the first place where these types of things, these dreams grow, right? Because we don't just want this to be a case of us doing well out of it, but we want the country to do well out of it. We want the people in Bermuda to be able to dream, because they've been able to see someone that's just like them dream big and do things that are on an international scale. So that's a very important piece that to us as well.
Yes. Well said.
It definitely shows through that this idea was made from love. This product came from love, and it just shows very well how much you guys care and are deeply involved in this. And I'm honored just to be able to talk to you guys about it, and I'm inspired as well to have an idea and make it come to light. Like, it's not an easy task to do. Most of us have ideas and then we just drop them and we forget about them. Yeah. So thank you for going through with your idea. That's really incredible.
Thank you for having us to share, you know, this story. We really appreciate it.
We really do.
Thank you, guys.